Here we are. Okay. So we're gonna start actually straight away with the bolster, but for comfortable position, kind of comfortable position. So put the bolster on the back of the mat. Sit in front of the bolster, but take a bit of space between the buttocks and the bolster. You can put your knees bent and feet a little bit wider than your hips, or if it's really comfortable for you, you can put either the legs in Baddha Konasana or legs completely straight. Up to you to find the leg position that you prefer. The idea is to have the bolster not pushing the lumbar spine. The lumbar spine is free to just relax completely. And if you want to lengthen the lumbar spine, then better to have your knees bent. Put the arms next to the hips, rolling outward, and slide the shoulder blades toward the waist. So the bolster will help you just open a little bit more your chest. But I want you to find a comfortable position. If you need a bit of support for your neck, then take a folded blanket and put it just under the back of your head. So the neck will be free to lengthen, just like the lumbar spine. And it's just the sort of hump behind your head that will be supported by the folded blanket. If you don't need it, well, even better. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with the neck. Release all tension. With the exhalation, expand your chest. With the inhalation, relax your forehead, your eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your eyes. And then sink deeper into the skull. Relax the skin of your face. Unclench your jaw. And let your lips open slightly. Relax your tongue. The throat. Your neck and shoulders. And let the shoulders to drop down toward the ground freely. Relax your arms, forearms and hands. Completely relaxed, let go. Relax your back. The muscles of your back and your spine, vertebra for vertebra. Relax your lumbar spine. Relax your belly and the whole abdominal area. Relax your hips, your groins. Relax your legs, knees, ankles and feet. Bring your attention into your breathing cycle and start observing every aspect of your breathing cycle. Which part of your body moves the most, chest or belly? If both moves, which one moves first? Observe without changing anything. Observe simply to know yourself. Also the length of your breathing cycle. Inhalation and exhalation have the same length, or one of them is naturally longer. Observe the small pauses between inhalation and exhalation, and between exhalation and inhalation. Small moments where everything stops, even your breath. Become aware of the 4 phases of your breathing cycle. Inhalation, pause, exhalation, pause. And even there, observe. Is one of the 2 pauses longer? Observe the effect of the bolster on your spine, on your back, on your chest. Observe the effect of the bolster on your breath. From your next breath, take control and create a long and deep breath. Expand your chest to your maximum with every breath, but keep it easy, keep it soft. Long, slow, and steady breath. Expand your chest with every breath, but in a conscious way. Still keeping it easy and soft. If there's a part of your chest or if your back that's stiffen, step back. This is not a challenge. A deep but easy breath. And still keeping this deep and easy breath, expanding the chest with every breath. Allow the exhalation to become longer than the inhalation. Fill up your lungs with your inhalation, your deep and long inhalation. And create a longer exhalation. Focus your breath more on the chest, but allow also the belly to move. Don't keep it contracted. And while creating this deep and long breath, Observe also the movement of the belly. And observe that your belly moves first or after the chest, both for the inhalation and the exhalation. Become more and more conscious of your breath. Also, the physical movement of your breath. Allow the belly to move freely and allow the chest to expand deeper and deeper. Three more breaths, exhalation longer than the inhalation. At the end of the third breath, interlace the hands and place the hands just behind your occiput, back of the head. Keep the shoulders down, but allow the elbows to move toward the ground, thus expanding even more your chest. And create again the same breath that you created a few seconds ago. Allow the belly to move freely, but focus more on the chest and expand the chest deeper and deeper with every breath. Observe how the positioning of the arms change your breath. 3 breaths. And at the end of the third breath, put your arms in cactus pose. So with the elbows aligned with the shoulders and the forearm parallel to each other and to the ground. And stay there. Observe the expansion of your rib cage, of your chest. And keep the same breathing technique. Really long inhalation. The belly is free to move, but focus on the expansion of your rib cage. Exhalation longer than the inhalation. Three breaths. At the end of the third breath, still keeping the two forearm parallel, move the elbows toward the waist. And observe the stretch, the different stretch around your shoulders. Three more breaths. At the end of the third breath, go back to a cactus pose for 3 last breaths. Keep a long and deep breath, focusing more on the chest, but allowing the belly to move freely. Exhalation. longer than the inhalation. At the end of the third breath, really slowly, roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a brief moment before pushing with the left hand, sit up. Move the bolster away and lay down on the ground again. Push the back of the head away from the shoulders. Keep the elbows quite close to the chest. Forearm vertical, palm of the hand facing each other. Elbows close to the chest. So bend your elbows, put it down to the ground, close, down to the ground, all the way down to the ground, okay. Close to the chest, forearm vertical, and palm of the hand facing the sky. Keep the feet quite close to the buttocks and roughly as wide as the hips. Still keeping the back of the head away from the shoulders. Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, push with the elbows against the ground, push with the feet against the ground, lift your hips and tuck the tailbone under. Lift the hips, 3 breaths. At the end of the third, really slowly go down. Inhale. With the exhalation, push with the feet against the ground, lift your hips, push with the elbows against the ground, lift the hips and the chest. Move the chest over the chin. Don't turn your head, keep your head facing the sky. Keep on pushing with the feet against the ground and with the elbows against the ground. Move the back of the head away from the shoulders. Stay there. And release. Bring now the knees toward the chest. Grab the knees with both arms and stay there just for a brief moment without moving. And now turn left and right with your body. Just rock your body left and right. Okay. Roll completely on your right side, push with the left hand and sit up. Sit on the back of the mat, knees as wide as the mat. Keep your hands down on the ground, not too far from your knees. Inhale. With the exhalation, rock your hips backward, push your spine back and look at your belly. Stretch your spine. Inhale, tilt your hips forward. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down, arch your spine and look up. Exhale, look at your belly. With the inhalation, look up and expand your chest. One more time, exhale, look at your belly. Inhale, look up and expand your chest. Keep your hands down on the ground and create circles with your hips and lumbar spine, both on one side. And on the other side. Create a fluid movement as much as you can. Now walk forward with your hands, lower your chest, keep the chest as low as you can, keep the arms straight and active, buttocks close to the heels now. Okay. Arms really active. Move the sternum toward the hands and the shoulder blades down toward the waist. Walk slightly back with your hands in order, but without bending your elbows, in order to expand your shoulders. Keep the chest down. Inhale deeply, and with exhalation, walk with your hands to the right, even out of the mat, to stretch the left side of your torso. When you reach your maximum, move the right hand closer to the right knee and push with both hands and knee against the ground to move the chest to the left and go deeper into the stretch of the rib cage muscles. Stay there. And really slowly come back to center. Observe the difference between left and right, and still keeping the chest really low. Walk to the left. When you've reached your maximum of the stretch of the right side of the torso, move the left hand closer to the left knee and start pushing with the hand and the knee against the ground to push the chest to the right and deepen the stretch of the rib cage muscles. 3 breaths. You can even breathe deeper and deeper on your chest to stretch even more. At the end of the 3rd, come back to center. Walk back with your hands. And lift your torso. Hands over your thighs and create circles with your lumbar spine again, both on one side and on the other side. Okay, now tabletop position. Keep the 2 knees slightly wider than your hips. Okay, now tuck your tailbone under just a tiny bit, just to lengthen your lumbar spine. Keep the navel toward the spine to keep the position of the lumbar spine long. Walk forward with your hands, lowering your chest, but keeping the buttocks right above the knees. Allow the head to move all the way down to the ground, navel to the spine. Push the chest down. Keep the shoulders wide. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd, really slowly come back up. And sit on your heels again. Keep the 2 knees together now. Belly in. Lean gently back. Just to activate a little bit the muscles on your thighs and keeping the abdominal muscles gently activated. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Come back to center. Okay. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Roll the arms outward. Push the thumbs gently back and the hands down toward the ground, like you want to touch the ground. Belly in and lean back a little bit more. If you touch the ground with the hands, it's really good. And keep on moving the hands back just to keep a slight touch onto the ground. And come back up. Okay. Lay down on the ground completely. Keep the legs quite open, as well. Keep the feet as wide as mat. And roll the legs, the back of the legs, outward in order to have the heels wider than your toes. Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, lift your head, lift your shoulders, lift your arms. Keep the arms parallel to the ground. Look forward. Relax your buttocks. And gently go down. Turn your head to the right. And again, inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, and arms. Move the hands toward the feet. Activate your lumbar spine. Stay there. Relax your buttocks. Relax your legs. And go all the way down. Turn your head to the left. Stay there. Your buttocks completely relaxed. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, lift your shoulders, lift your arms. Interlace the hands behind your sacrum. And now straighten your arms again. Pushing the hands toward the feet, but keeping the legs and buttocks completely relaxed. All the way down again. Turn your head to the right. Relax your arms. And now, put your hands next to the chest, next to your, to your chest. Keep the forearm almost vertical. So a little bit back. Move the hands a little bit back. That is, the wrists have to be toward the lower part of your chest. Okay, that's perfect. Move the elbows closer to each other. And in the meantime, move the shoulders away from the ears. So move the elbows closer to the buttocks. Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, push gently with the hands against the ground, just a tiny bit. Keep the belly down, then move the chest up. So you're touching the ground with the belly, but not with the ribs. So push with the hands against the ground. Yes, exactly. So the legs are relaxed, but the arms are really active. And relax. Relax your arms completely, because we're going to do it one more time, and it will be quite demanding for the arms. The more you push with the hands against the ground, the less you will feel the tension on the wrist. So I want you to lift the rib cage, but the belly will have to be down on the ground. So again, put your hands down on the ground, but close to the chest, to the lower part of the chest. Inhale. With exhalation, lift your head, shoulders. Push with the hands against the ground to lift the rib cage. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Activate also your lumbar spine in a conscious way. And relax. Okay. Arms down. Now put your elbows right under the shoulders. Forearm parallel to each other. Belly in. So when you push your belly in, you will tilt your hip backward. So you can even have the belly not touching the ground anymore. That's the idea. So keep the belly, if possible, not touching the ground. So the weight will be more on the really upper thighs, or your hips. It depends on your physical. But the belly won't be touching the ground. Stay there. It's not the end of the world. Keep the belly in. Keep the belly activated. To have the lumbar spine long. Start pushing a little bit more with the elbows against the ground to lift your chest and move the shoulders away from the ears. Look in front of you. Keep moving the shoulders away from the ears. Stay there. Belly out of the floor. Legs relaxed. And now relax completely. Put your hands under your either the chin, if it's comfortable for you, or turn your head to the right or to the left, whichever is more comfortable for you. Stay there. Now put your elbows again right under the shoulders, forearm parallel to each other, belly in to lift your belly. Push the elbows against the ground, push the sternum forward, elbows again against the ground and pushing all the way to the ground. Sternum lifted, shoulders away from the ears. Now bend your knees without compromising all the other movement. So keep the belly out of the floor, keep the belly really activated, push the elbows against the ground, breaths. At the end of the third, release legs, go all the way down, put your hands under the chin, or if it's more comfortable for you to turn your head to the left now, and stay there. Put your hands now next to the chest, push against the ground, and enter your child pose position. Find a version that is more comfortable for you, either with the legs wide or close to each other, arms forward or back, and stay there. Just relax. Allow the lumbar spine to lengthen. And now really slowly come back up. Okay, now take the belt, and we're going to use the belt in a quite particular way. You need to have the belt as long as you can. I have a particularly long one. You don't need that long. Also with a normal size belt, you can do it. The idea is to put the belt behind your shoulder blades, right under the armpit, and then up to the shoulders. Once that you have it over the shoulders, like that, okay, you cross the two brim of the belt, like that. Yes, perfect. Now, keeping the belt in this position, lay down on the ground again. We're going to use the belt in this particular position to help you open the upper chest. So the belt will push the shoulder blades forward, but will move the shoulders back. So it will create a small arching on the upper part of your spine. So the idea is to take the belt not too far away, but with the elbows quite bent, not too bent because it will be too hard. And when you lift, so I'm going to show you, when you lift your head, shoulders, you start straightening the arms. And when you straighten your arms, you will pull the shoulders back. If you see that it's a little bit too easy, then you can bend your elbows a little bit more just to find the good position, the good activation to get a little bit deeper. So, leaning down on the ground, take the position that you think that it will be the good one. Inhale deeply. And with the exhalation, lift your head, your shoulders, and start straightening your arms as much as you can. You really need to feel the shoulders pull back. Okay. Go down. And walk a little bit more forward toward the cross of the belt. So take the belt a little bit smaller. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head and shoulders and start straightening your arms as much as you can. If it's a little bit too small, then you can allow the belt to slide inside your hands in order to straighten your arms. When your arms are straight, then it will be easier to pull back your shoulders. And relax. Put your hands against the ground again, push and enter the child pose. Maybe it's better to get rid of the belt now and enter your child pose. Find a version that is more comfortable for you and stay there and let the spine to relax. 3 more breaths. At the end of the third, come back up. Move your knees a little bit wider and put your left hand right in between your knees. Left hand in between your knees. Okay. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, tilt your hips gently forward. Roll your arms outward and push the thumb to the left Push with the left hand against the ground to move the shoulder to the right and twist a little bit deeper. Look behind you, 3 breaths. Belly in. The end of the third, change sides. So put your right hand in between the knees. Push the right shoulder to the left. Sternum, lift the shoulder blades down, belly in. Roll the left arm outward, push the thumb to the right and look behind you. Push with the right hand against the ground to go deeper into the twist. And gently come back up. And come back into the center. Tabletop position. Create circles with your hips and lumbar spine. Turn also on the other side. Okay. Now take the belt again. And slide the belt under your ankle. Both ankles. Okay. Now, from this position, take the belt a little bit wider than your hips, but not too wide either. Palm of the hand facing forward. Inhale with exhalation. Lift your hips. Yes, beautiful. Belly in. And come back down. Inhale. Belly in. Lift your hips. And come back down again. If it's too easy, then walk with your hands a little bit closer to the ankle, but not overdo that. It's gonna be, it has to be quite easy, but not too easy either. So you have to find the compromise between the hardness of the pose and your body willing. So again, 2 more times. Inhale, and with exhalation, lift your body and use the belt to arch your spine. Back down. One last time. Find a good position for your hands and lift. Belly in and down again. Okay, now lift your hips without taking the belt. And now bend your right knee a little bit more in order just to grab the right feet with the right hand. Right to right. Okay. Belly in and move the heel as much as you can close to the buttocks. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, release the right one and take the left one. Left leg, left arm, belly in, sternum lifted. And even with this position, move the heel toward the buttocks. 3 breaths. And back. Now, bend your right knee take the right feet with the left arm. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. Move the heel toward the buttocks. Belly in. Now take with both hands your feet. Lift the sternum and move the feet toward the ground. So you're kind of using the arms like the belt. Okay, and release and change side. If it's a little bit too demanding for your knees, you can always put a folded blanket or a pillow under the knees just to release the pressure. Now take the left feet with the right hand. Move the heel toward the buttocks. Stay there. Belly in. Focus on the belly in to lengthen the lumbar spine, to tilt your hips backward and to lengthen also your thigh, your left thigh. Now grab with both hands your left feet, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, and move the feet toward the ground. Breaths. And release. Seat on your heels and create circles with your lumbar spine. Okay, now we're going to use the belt again, but I want you to take the tube ring of the belt with the right hand. Once that you have the belt, you put down your left hand. If you can, if the belt is long enough, you can put the right one down. If you cannot, just lay down like that. But at the end, you have to lay down completely. The idea is to keep the belt in between the wrist, around the wrist. No, not the ankle, sorry. Both ankles. Okay. Then you need to lay down. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now that you have the belt, I wanted to take each side of the belt to each side of your body. Okay, we can do that in several different ways. The hardest one is to pull the arms up and then push back. We're not going to do that straight away at least. So I wanted to take the right belt with the right hand quite close to the buttocks. And the left hand is exactly the same, quite close to the buttocks. Once that you have the two sides, start lifting the head and shoulders. And now, keep the two knees together and use the leg to pull back. So move the tibias back and allow the belt to pull your torso up. You're not using the muscles of your torso, you're using the legs. So I want you to feel the leg really active, but try and relax as much as you can, all the other muscles of your body, except the abdominal muscles. Release. If the belt is long enough, Then you can even lengthen your leg. Going to be a little bit harder to take the belt now, but if it's long enough, you can use the feet, the toes, just to bring the belt forward again. Yeah, it's not that easy when you're laying down. Okay, now find your position again. Inhale. So the hands quite close to the buttocks. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head and shoulders. Once that you have left and head and shoulders up, activate your abdominal muscles and then activate the legs to kind of kick your belt away. And observe that it will just lift your torso even more. And release. So, if you want to, if you have quite good dexterity of your toes, you can grab the belt with the toes of one feet, and grabbing like that, grabbing between the big toe and the second one. If you have that grip, then you can straighten your leg without losing the belt. Almost. Now we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna put the arms forward. So it will be a little bit different, let's say like that. So bend your knees again. Wait, I'm gonna show you another way to enter this. So you take the belt and you put the belt in between the first and the second feet. So you won't move from that. Once that you have that, you take the other side under the ankle. You can put the belt down forward. So it's already in position. Okay, and now you lay down. You lift the feet that has got the, like that. You enter the position with the other feet. Once that you have the belt around the ankle on the other feet, you can slide the big toes away, the belt away from the big toes, and slide the feet again inside the belt to have it around the ankle on both sides. Like that. Yep. Good. Now, put your elbows roughly under your face. So a little bit forward. Okay. and walk as much as you can with the hands back on the belt. Okay. Now, activate your abdominal muscles and activate also your lumbar spine muscles. Kind of to lift the torso without using anything, just the lumbar spine muscles. Once that you have both the abdominal muscles and the lumbar spine muscles gently activated, start straightening the arms up and allow this movement to lift also your knee up just a little bit. Okay. And now start pushing the feet back to stretch also your torso. 3 breaths. And release. Okay, now you can just put the belt away. We're not gonna do it again because it's quite deep and we already did it in the other versions. So now push with the hands against the ground, seat on child pose, and relax. This is a really big opening. We're not gonna do it 2 times. And it was just the first time that we did with the arms up and with the knees up. So it's just the first time that you're showing your body what you want to do. We'll do it another times. Well, actually other times. But the first time that you approach this huge opening, it's better to do it just 1 time. Just as I told, to show your body what you want it to do without pushing too much. Allow the spine to lengthen. And really slowly lift it also up. Create circles with your hips and lumbar spine, since we've worked quite a bit in that area. So also on the other side. Now, lift your hips and tuck your toes under. You don't need the belts now. Now, keep the belly in and tilt your hips backward. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Twist to the right and put your right hand in contact with the right heel. Lift the left arm up. And now, look at the sky. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, allow the left hand to go all the way down in order to, if you can, touch the left heel. Light touch. Keep the sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. And lift the right arm up, twisting to the left and looking up. 3 breaths again. Belly in, sternum lifted. At the end of the 3rd, come up. Seat on your heels again, put your feet down. And create circles with your hips along the spine. Turn also on the other side. Now, since we have the bolster, we're gonna use the bolster against the wall to viparita karani. So the bolster is quite close to the wall, but not really touching the wall. So take a bit of space between the bolster and the wall. If the bolster moves when you enter the pose, you can even put a block, short-sided block between the bolster and the wall. To enter the position, there are several ways. The one that is quite used is to put your buttocks against the wall and slide the hips over the bolster to roll over the bolster, and then find a good position. Once that I personally use quite a bit is just to lift and walk back with your knee, with your shoulders, to have the hips and the buttocks really in contact with the wall, but it's quite personal. Usually the first method is easier. Once that you have your position, just relax. If you need to, if it's a little bit hard to find a comfortable position for the legs, you can also bend your knees and put the feet roughly in Baddha Konasana. For some clients, it's easier to have the legs open wide. I find it more interesting, let's say like that, because I feel the stretch on the inner thighs. But I want you to find your position for the legs, a position where you can feel relaxed. If you have the tendency of opening the legs to the side, you can also put the belt around your lower thighs, quite close to the knees, just to keep it there. Doesn't have to be tight, but it is just to keep the legs roughly vertical. You can put the arms both in cactus pose or with a straight to the side. Again, up to you to find your version, the version that you can feel really comfy. And just relax, let go. Pull the back of your head away from the shoulders to lengthen also your neck. Relax completely. And now you can choose. You can stay in Viparita Karani, or enter Shavasana. Up to you to find the position that you prefer today, in this very moment. At the end of Shavasana, I will go to Parani for you. I will chant the mantra. And at the end of the mantra, I'm going to guide you out of the pose. Till that moment, just relax. Om Bhurrbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Bhurrbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nat Prachodayat Om Bhurrbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nat Prachodayat. Slowly, start moving your toes and fingers. Bring back the awareness into your body. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Bend your knees, roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a few seconds before sitting comfortably for the chant of 3 Om. Keep your spine straight, yet relaxed. Keep thumb, big thumb and index finger together. Palm of the hand either facing the sky or the ground. Eyes closed. And once that you entered your straight up position, stay there, just wait. Allow your mind body to settle. Inhale deeply. Relax your face, your throat, your belly. Put your hands in prayer position in front of the chest. Open your eyes. Namaste.